Hi there. If you're watching this video, you're likely aware of some of the recent controversies in the anime and manga fanbase over problematic works. A lot of fans of the classic shonen series known as Rurouni Kenshin were devastated when the original creator, Nobuhiro Watsuki, was arrested on account of charges relating to the possession of child pornography. Some were even more disturbed when Watsuki, for whatever reason, went into detail on his preferences when it comes to child pornography. Furthermore, two new anime that really popped up on the scene this year, Made in Abyss and Land of the Lustrous, have dealt with controversy relating to their authors. While Made in Abyss as an anime stirred up some mixed discussion about the situations it sometimes put its child characters in, there were also a significant amount of people who pointed fingers at events that occurred in the manga as being pedophilic, and an indicator that the anime would go down a similar road. Most recently, Land of the Lustrous received a call-out post from a Tumblr user who did a rundown of some other works by the same author, which contained alleged positive themes of incest and pedophilia, and also sort of threw in an accusation at the end that the author uses these characters' gender-neutral status fetishistically. When you're hearing these things left and right, and seeing people swear off these shows and manga, or burn their merchandise, or whatever else, while others stand by and continue to enjoy these problematic works, you may be left with the burning question, what should I do? The answer is relatively simple. You just have to ask yourself two questions. Is the alleged problematic situation really problematic? And are you able to separate the artist from the work which you enjoy? Or if the artist's problematic behavior is in the work itself, are you able to enjoy it despite this problematic material? Let's start with Rurouni Kenshin. Is the alleged problematic situation really problematic? Personally, yes. Watsuki possessed actual videos of children being sexually exploited. That's not behavior that I, as a person, find acceptable. However, can I watch and read Rurouni Kenshin without feeling gross? Yes. One thing to consider is the fact that these manga and anime, especially anime, have large teams working on them, not just the one person who is causing the issue. I personally believe it is wrong to discredit or disown the whole team's work based on the actions of one person that the rest of the team members likely were completely unaware of and had no control over. It also helps that Rurouni Kenshin is one of the cleanest works I know of in terms of fan service or skeevy content. It's practically non-existent. The only thing I could think of off the top of my head are a few bad scenes that are much, much tamer than the majority of anime. Sex is going to be completely not connected in my mind when I view Rurouni Kenshin, which makes it unlikely that I'm going to think of the author's past indecent behavior. In the case of Made in Abyss, regardless of your reviews on the questionable artwork, no actual crime is being committed, nor has anyone actually been harmed based on the material in it. Some people weren't bothered by these depictions at all, acknowledging that they were indeed fictional and part of a larger narrative. Some people simply weren't comfortable with sitting through the show or reading the manga, because the material contained in some chapters and episodes. There's another group of people who really like Made in Abyss, but admit to being uncomfortable with some of the material contained in it, such as the YouTuber Super Eyepatch Wolf. All of these are acceptable viewpoints. In the case of Land of the Lustrous, you have to consider whether the author's depictions of certain themes are really as bad as the call-out post makes them out to be, and whether or not they really bother you. You can write a narrative containing things about incest and pedophilia without supporting these issues or playing them for titillation. But if this does really bother you, you have similar options to what is being presented on the table for Rurouni Kenshin and Made in Abyss. Let me mention something real quick I do feel uncomfortable with now. Watching the English dub of High School DxD's first two seasons, which kind of sucks because the English dub is the only way I could kind of enjoy that show. This is because the voice of the main lead, Scott Freeman, was arrested for and later pled guilty to possession of child pornography in 2015. And I personally cannot feel comfortable watching a show that glorifies the tits of underage girls, even fictional ones, knowing that the main character is being voiced by a man who gets off on the exploitation of actual children. But no matter your viewpoints on any of these works, what's important and the main point that I really want to drive home is that your opinion is your own. Do not attack people for enjoying these works. They have done their own soul searching and have come to the conclusion that they are still able to enjoy them, and would probably like to do so without someone angrily beating pots and pans in the background, regurgitating arguments against the show that they've already heard. This community has enough things to fight about. And this Tumblr post about Land of the Lustrous personally is just kind of ridiculous. Most people who are watching Land of the Lustrous aren't even supporting this alleged person we shouldn't support, because they're watching it on Kiss Anime, because Anime Strike is the worst service in the history of life, liberty, and the pursuit of a proper adaptation of Berserk. Who am I on about now? I don't know. I said my piece.